Safety Toolbox Talk number 310. SOP for Air Emission Control. 1. Purpose. This SOP outlines the procedures for controlling and minimizing air emissions from operations to comply with environmental regulations, ensure safety, and minimize the impact on air quality. 2. Scope. This SOP applies to all operations, processes, equipment, and systems that emit air pollutants at company name. It covers activities related to monitoring, controlling, reporting, and reducing air emissions, including the use of control devices such as scrubbers, filters, or catalytic converters. 3. Definitions. Air emissions, gaseous or particulate matter released into the atmosphere from a facility or operation. Air pollution control devices, equipment used to reduce or eliminate the release of harmful emissions. Emission source, any process, equipment, or activity that generates air pollutants. Four. Responsibilities. Environmental manager, oversee the implementation of this SOP, ensure compliance with regulations, and conduct audits. Operations manager, ensure that operational processes are carried out according to the SOP, and that emissions are minimized. Maintenance team, ensure air pollution control devices are properly maintained and operational. Employees, follow operational procedures, report any anomalies or malfunctions related to air emissions, and participate in regular training sessions. 5. Regulatory compliance. Ensure that all air emission control activities comply with local, state, and federal regulations, such as the Air Act, Environmental Protection Agency, EPA, regulations, and any state-specific laws. Permit limits. Follow the conditions outlined in air quality permits, including emission limits, monitoring requirements, and reporting procedures. Six. Air emission sources. List of potential emission sources within the facility, combustion processes, e.g. boilers, furnaces. Ventilation systems. Manufacturing processes, e.g. chemical reactions. Waste handling processes, e.g. landfill gas emissions. Fugitive emissions, e.g. leaks, evaporative losses. 7. Emission control methods. Several control technologies may be employed to minimize air emissions. Scrubbers, use of wet or dry scrubbers to remove pollutants from exhaust gases. Filters, particulate filters, e.g. baghouses, electrostatic precipitators, for capturing particulates. Catalytic converters, used for controlling gases such as VOCs, volatile organic compounds, and NOx, nitrogen oxides. Activated carbon, for adsorbing specific gases. Thermal oxidizers, high-temperature oxidation of organic compounds. Eight. Monitoring and sampling. Continuous emission monitoring systems, CEMS real-time monitoring for gases such as CO, NOx, and SOx to ensure emissions stay within acceptable limits. Periodic sampling. Conduct periodic air sampling to measure particulate matter, PM, and other pollutants in exhaust stacks and ambient air. Emission testing. Annual or semi-annual third-party testing for specific emission sources, as required by permit conditions. Key monitoring parameters, CO, carbon monoxide. NOx, nitrogen oxides. SOx, sulfur oxides. VOCs, volatile organic compounds, PM, particulate matter. 9. Record-keeping and reporting. Maintain records of emissions data, monitoring results, maintenance logs, and calibration of control devices for a minimum of 3 years. Submit periodic reports as required by environmental agencies, e.g. annual emission reports. Report any exceedances or non-compliance events to regulatory authorities immediately, as per permit requirements. Maintenance of air emission control devices. Conduct routine inspections of emission control devices, e.g. scrubbers, filters, catalytic converters, to ensure proper functioning. Perform preventive maintenance on air pollution control equipment based on manufacturer recommendations and best practices. Keep spare parts on hand for critical equipment to prevent downtime and potential emissions violations. 11. Training and awareness. Conduct regular training sessions for employees on air emission control procedures, regulatory requirements, and the use of control devices. Provide refresher courses on the SOP at least annually or whenever changes to processes or regulations occur. Ensure employees understand the importance of air quality and their role in minimizing emissions. Emergency procedures. In case of a malfunction or failure of air pollution control systems, immediate action, shut down operations or divert emissions to backup control systems if available. Notification. Inform the environmental manager and relevant regulatory agencies if an exceedance or malfunction leads to noncompliance. Investigation. Conduct a root cause analysis to determine the cause of the malfunction and implement corrective actions. Documentation. Document the incident, response actions, and steps taken to prevent future occurrences. 13. Audit and review. Perform regular audits of the Air Emission Control Program to identify opportunities for improvement and ensure compliance. Review and update this SOP annually or as needed to reflect changes in operations, technology, or regulatory requirements. Appendices. Appendix A, Emission Limits by Pollutant. Appendix B, Equipment Maintenance Checklist. Appendix C, Emissions Monitoring Report Template. Appendix D, Contact Information for Regulatory Authorities. 15. Revision History. Version 1.0, Initial Document Release, Date. Version 1.1, Updated Emission Limits and Reporting Guidelines, Date. Thank you.